Hello all, Sibeto here. Welcome back to another episode of Plunder Pirates. We're actually going to be talking about my recent achievement. Just as recent, less than 24 hours ago, I've had some time to reflect on it a little bit. And now I think it's time to actually talk a little bit about it. And myself. I think a lot of people will know more about me, and I think maybe now it's time to talk about it. I hope you like the background picture. That's the only thing we're going to be seeing. But you'll hear my wonderful voice throughout the video. So first of all, I couldn't have done this without everyone's support. So what I mean by that is that the live streams especially, that's been a massive thing for me. I think I've been live streaming now for about 8-9 months, somewhere around that region. And it's really inspired me to carry on. I've had my moments where I thought about quitting. But you guys helped me through it, really have, and I really do appreciate every single minute that you watch of my videos, my live streams, and being there week in and week out. Or if you're newcomers to the channel as well, it's also appreciated because it shows growth and that people enjoy viewing the videos and live streams that I'm doing. So going back to what I was saying, as you know, I like to digress a little bit. I couldn't have got to the top 200, 150 without you guys viewing, because I wouldn't have pushed myself. I would have been happy sitting down and farming away. So I am still a big farmer at heart. What do I mean by farmer? Say you're new to the channel, you're quite new to the game. What I mean by farmer, I like going out and taking people's loot and not caring too much about winning the battles. As long as I take the loot, the win doesn't necessarily bother me. But then there's two sides to the game. You've got the farm, which is just explained, and then you've got the PR pushes, which is pirate rank, is that big 901 sitting there. I had to get that in there. And it's the people that are pushing to be the best or one of the best in the world. There's nothing better than seeing your name in that top leaderboard. I've done it once before in another game. I was actually top 5 in the world. It was called Dragon Empire, and the leaderboards were glitched for a while. It was actually the first clone of Clash of Clans, I'll have you know, for iOS or Android, and I was there. Anyway, so I was top 5 for that. The leaderboards were a bit buggy, and then they brought an update out, and I was getting trophies most of the time. It was called trophies in that game. I was wondering why. The big update come out, and bang, there I was. I thought, wow. I think I was 4th best in the world, and I've been contemplating this for a while, thinking I have to at least be top 200, see my name on that global leaderboard, so my mum could be proud of me. Just kidding about that. She doesn't know too much about this game, if I'm being honest. She just knows I live stream. I say to him, go into live stream now, and she hasn't really a clue what I say. Just knows don't be shouting out. So let's talk a little bit more about myself. I am coming on for 31, as just probably guessed. I do live at home, but I have been engaged, coming on 6 years ago, roughly, maybe coming on 7, somewhere around there. I've moved out home twice, once when I was 21, and the other I think I was 23, 24. So I have flown the nest. Not one of these guys that's never moved out. I have. But you know where your bread's buttered, don't you, at home? The rent's cheaper for a start. You haven't got to worry about all the different types of bills coming in, the financial management. And so I've learned quite a bit about life that way. And I really do enjoy it. And I'm pretty much free to do what I want anyway. I always have been that way. I've got to say, and if my own mum can't tell me what to do, then no one else can. Maybe that's not the right mentality, but that's just the way I am. A lot of people probably are a little bit inquisitive to what I do for work, so I don't openly talk too much about it, and plus work's such a nasty word anyway. I actually work from home. I'm not going to say exactly what I do because it's personal, but I just say to people, it's not really a lie, it's sort of a little white lie, but it's not exactly. I also help a relative out on the flea markets, the Americans call it in the UK, which call it markets. His dad has gone through a rough time with cancer over the last 2-3 years, he's clear of it for now, but he's still got his scans come up to make sure he's all in the clear. But once a week, it was twice a week, but once a week I do help out there. But yes, I work from home. That's why you probably see me flitting on the game throughout the day. It's because I'm able to. It doesn't. I'm not rich at all. I probably earn a lot less than anyone you know, but I feel I've got more of the comfort of life rather than having to go out and work all the hours. So I'm not rich at all. I just prioritise where I spend my money accordingly. Which, like my Christmas money, has all been spent, and not even on myself. That's the funny part. Yeah, Christmas money. The only thing I've done recently is spent almost £21. And we keep having a bit of problems. Well, we don't so much now, but we're having problems with the live stream. I've changed the program, but I'm also changing my Ethernet cables. To people that don't know, you get standard ones with your internet service provider. You go and buy some cheap ones. Well, I'm buying better quality ones, which means that we lose less packets. So the delivery going from the wire, from the modem to the computer, will mean I lose less packets. Oh no! And now I've got an interrupted call. Bear with me. So going back over what I was just talking about before my phone call, my apologies ladies and gentlemen, I know you didn't have to sit through it, but still. So I was talking about the loss of packets, which means that we won't have that slight buffering problem and me losing connection and so on. It should be a lot more stable process. So I feel that the live stream will come to a newer, better level. I'm doing everything, like the PC as well. When I get to play some PC gaming, but I'm really enjoying the live stream. About to see a little round circle saying YouTube gaming or some other Mobizem program. It looks a lot more professional. I can make better balance, like you're seeing the thumbnails coming out, and the microphone sounds better as well, in my opinion. And the quality of the gameplay itself has improved, I feel. So going back to myself a bit more, I've talked a little bit about myself, how I live, life experiences. I'll also go a bit more detailed. So my parents split up when I was about 10 years old, I guess, and back then, mid-late 90s, it happened, but it weren't as much heard of as it is today. So parents splitting up, and there wasn't really anyone for me, and I'm an only child, by the way. So there wasn't really any, and this isn't a tearful moment or a depressive moment. Get the razor blades out, anything like that. It's just one of the things that happened, and I think it's made me the gentleman that I am today. My parents divorcing when I was younger, but yeah, I had no one to talk about it. Being an only child, you toughen up and you get through life, and I think it's really made me a stronger character. So it's something else. Also, my dad actually lives in America. He met an American woman, now his wife, on Yahoo Chat. I think he's been living there now, or they've been together, for 15, 16 years. Been married for, I don't know, 12, I guess. He lives in America, in Texas. We sort of fell out around about 9-10 years ago. We have spoken briefly since then, but it's not gone anywhere, to be honest with you. And no, again, I don't need the violin out or anything. I'm happy with life. In other words, life can throw you. I'm going to a bit of education here for you. Life throws you curveballs, and it's just how you deal with those curveballs that shapes you into the person that you are. So a lot of negative things happen to people, and you just get on and live with it, and don't beat yourself up about it. Just make yourself stronger. And gaming, what a place to escape. What a place. The people here, and I will meet the likes of Unique Rebel, and if it prohibits, if able, the one, the only Smithy. He is the legend, as is you are. And I'm sure at some point I will save up money. I don't know how long it take. I will visit America again. I have visited once when I was 18. Again, to go to my dad's wife's state, Texas. I was 18. Just turned legal to drink in the UK, and it's not legal until 21 in the US. So you can imagine I was a little bit upset. That's a polite way of putting it. But yeah, I would love to meet some of that. I've got quite a few of my members living in Florida. I'd say a good 5, maybe 6. So it'd be great to meet some of the American folks, my fellow Americans, my neighbours across the pond, so to speak. I think there's not too much more to say there. I mean, hobbies. What do I like to do? I'm a big movie fan. My favourite actor has got to be Denzel Washington, without a shadow of a doubt. I think I've pretty much watched every single movie of his released from the 1970s till now. One of my least favourite of his has got to be The Manchurian Candidate, and I've watched twice The Book of Eli. I'm still not completely sold on that. I like him, American Gangster. One of his best films, which is very underrated, is John Q. If you haven't seen that, please. I think it's maybe 90s, if not early 2000s. Brilliant movie. I like my Neos. I like The Matrix. I like my sci-fi. I like my thrillers. A little bit of horror. A little bit. I won't really watch it too much on my own. Big scaredy cat, yeah. What else do I like? I was English football, but I've gone off it now. I won't go into too much detail. The manager needs sacking, and until he's sacked, I won't be watching it. And I've not watched this entire season. I've not watched most of the last season 2, meaning TOOO, not the number 2. And you've seen me. I love my retro gaming, so my Sega. I've got the SNES. I've bought that, but hardly played it. We'll get round to it, and I'll probably purchase again the original. There's a few games there I'd like to get and play. Some Xbox gaming as well. I've got a series there. I need to carry on doing Dragon Age, because it's Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age 3. The Last Remnants as well as another Xbox game. PC game, I don't know. I mean, I love playing League of Legends. The name almost escaped me there. But I feel it's one of those. It's definitely going to be an over 18 show. I'm okay at it. I get frustrated and just say me and the random players I play with most of the time we don't get on because yeah, we'll leave it at that. So I mean, there's loads of things that I do want to do. I do want to carry on playing Plunder Pirates. I probably will cut down a little bit, maybe 5 days a week. I'm really enjoying the mini account. It's really, I feel it brings a spark back into you. I really do. You get a bit bored attacking 2 ground pounders, corner bases. It all gets a bit yawn. If you could see me hand on the mouth, tap tap tap. It does get a bit boring. Attacking the same type of bases. I'd like to see it. Maybe some more walls that might bring in a different type of base layout. So another 25 walls, something like that. Another 50 would be great. Make like maze bases then. Ideas. I mean, let's go on to that now. So I spoke a bit about myself. So ideas that I would like to see in the game. For sure, I think soon we need another legendary pirate. I'll mention the parrot just briefly there. We'll move along swiftly. I think we need another LP. Maybe another one that goes for defences. Maybe. Maybe another one like, say, the Goat. Perhaps not as good as a range, but maybe fires a bit quicker. I'm not too sure. I feel like we could do with another ranged one, even if it's a range of a gunner. We haven't, have we? We haven't got. I mean, you think about it. You've got plenty like Juggernauts and Brutes. Brutes is Black Bart. Juggernauts, you could say, is, I don't know, Blackbeard, Greenbeard. Take your pick. Tinto's kind of a buff. Crazy. He's more like a bit like a buck, I guess, in a way. He gets that berserker mode, but on many troops. Caesar's kind of weird. He goes in and just flames a bunch of stuff, which is different and cool. And I feel like we could do with another. I mean, we've got the healing troop, which is a little bit like Witch Doctor Annabelle. Boomer's like a bomber, a bit useless. We haven't got anything like a gunner. I don't think a resurrecting LP would be suitable. It'd be a little bit too OP, overpowered. But a gunner type. Something like that. It don't have to be great damage, but something different. It has to offer something. Jaunderberry's pretty much useless. I don't know why we have her. They could really say, look, we made a mistake there with Jaunderberry. We're going to change her ability to do something else. Even if it spawns $5 plus with the Berserker ability, I think that would work better. Defences. I feel with the two ARRRs that it's kind of made redundant the aeronauts. I'm sure if you really practice enough, you could maybe get used to using precess, freeze up the ARRR, but it would have to be so precise. I think the average person, myself included, just can't be bothered learning that just to implement an aeronaut. If we would have had one ARRR, which would be nice centralised, I think that the aeronauts would be more useful. Again, I spoke about it before and I say again, aeronauts, if you capped them, so their troop capacity, instead of being 2, being 1, the same being said about brutes, if you drop them from 4 to 3, even if they say, well no, 3 troop capacity in the lower pirate levels is be too overpowered. Then make it so it's a skill that you do in the academy. So I don't know, say Pirate 8 or 9, there's a little skill in there and it drops down their troop capacity from 4 to 3. And maybe the same with the aeronauts. When you hit Pirate 11, when there's going to be definitely 2 maxed out ARRRs, which I think there is from Pirate 10, drop the aeronaut troop capacity from 2 to 1, but still having that limit of 6 aeronauts in a battle. So there's changes there that can be done to improve the game. Do I think there should be another defense? I quite like the fact of these ground pounders. I've not seen anything like them in the game. The legendary fort acts a bit like Star Wars with the shield generators, where if you've got Caesar etc. or Black Bart, they buff walls and buildings and it flickers and you've got to get through that damage first before you can actually start damaging the building. So I don't think there's a sort of a shield generator worth that could come in and freshen the game up at all. Having said that, how else could we improve the game? I think troop-wise, there's enough spaces. I don't think we need to add, I don't know, 80, so an extra 5 troop capacity on the tavern. I think that's fine. Donating troops, I would like to see another type of ship. I don't know, whether you recruit from the guild ship itself, acted like a second tavern, so you would donate from that rather than from your own stockpile of troops, because it adds time onto your build time, and I think that the build times are long enough as it is, without adding on another 2 to 5 minutes, whatever you donate to someone. Yeah, it really stacks up. So if your army is 40 to 45 minutes, you're adding, say, let's say another 5 minutes on, so it's 45 to 50 minutes, or if your army is already 50 minutes, it's 55 minutes. And if you got donate to 2 people and it's added another, say, 10 minutes added on, rough, this estimate. So I think there's plenty of changes that can make this game better. I'm not too sure what Madoka is doing behind the scenes to bring in fresh blood. We've seen some fresh blood on the channel, not loads, but some. It proves there is fresh blood coming in, and that's exactly, a lot of people say, well, what's going on for us max players? And while I empathise, I'm not quite fully maxed with walls and LPs and everything yet, but that's your own fault for spending loads of money. I agree that Madoka is a business, and we've got to treat it like that, where you got to spend money to keep them going. Yes, I agree. But also you've got to, and like we're seeing the legendary fort going from Pirate 4 to Pirate 3, I think these are good changes for the lower level player, and I think we can't just dismiss them type of players, especially if we keep crying out that we want fresh blood. And if I hadn't have played this game, you wouldn't have seen me on the top 200 leaderboard, so it goes to show that just over a year played. Okay, I spent money as well, yes. But even in a year, you could see people jumping on their local leaderboards quite easily to do that. I mean, they could play the game differently and just go PR pushing the whole time playing instead of farming and just looking for decent loot while attacking and trying to get as many PR points as possible. So it's possible for people to do that within a year for free to play, doing 5 to 10 attacks a day, depending how long their army is going to take, and having to sit online for that, of course. You just need a drink. A lot of talking here. I blame you. I know people are curious to more about me, so I'm just going over it my thinking as well. So you've had the personal life of me. Now we're talking about my thoughts about the game. Rumbles. You know my opinion on Rumbles. Rumbles need changing and quick. They're boring. They're biased. So it's all about who's going to spend the most money. It's not so much, I mean, if you do 100 attacks, you guarantee you're gonna get, I don't know, just pull a number out of the hat, 20,000 plunder points. There you go. Don't matter if you're a pro at attacking or you're not that good at getting 2 stars or 1 stars. The more attacks you do, the more points you're going to get. And I don't think that's how Rumble should be run. You need to have an even playing field. And I think there should be based on average points per attack, a minimum of 5 attacks-ish, roughly. And then take into account different Pirate Hall levels. And I think that's how that Rumble system should work. Also, 1v1s would sound better than just 5 people piled up. I think events could be better as well. What I mean by that is, all these people that are spending money, great, keep it going. Is that once they've finished the event in a couple of days, it's a bit boring for them. So why not throw up, like in the monthly leaderboard, I forgot it then. There's prizes for finishing first and third, so let them keep getting points. They can't get any more prizes from, because it only goes up to 45k tokens, let's say, or 50k tokens, whatever it be. And then let them fight for them top prizes. So they're still going to be spending gems because they want people to see their name top on that board for the event. I don't know what the rewards be, it's nothing to do with me, it's Madoki's job. But that'll be something else interesting for those money spenders. Instead of being all done within, like Unique Rebel who's done in 3 hours in the event, it'll give him something more to strive and push forward, saying, well, I finished it in 3 hours, but I'm first for now, someone else will overtake me, let's keep pushing. I also like to see different events. Sailing event, but with goals. So, you have 6 hours, 57 minutes to take down a level 4 big fish. And it would make a guild work together, so it'd be a guild event. And yes, I know there's different Pirate Hall levels, and it would have like a level 1, I don't know, Kraken, whatever. Take out a level 1 Kraken. When you go to the Pirate Hall 5 player, you take care of that, and I'll go and get the 4-star big fish. So it would be a lot of coordination there for a guild to be able to complete the event, and it will make it a lot more guild focused. Don't forget, we're in a guild. Apart from doing the perks together and sharing some replays, donating some troops, doing the rumbles, what else is there sort of team play wise? I don't think there's too much more than that really. So making events a bit more fun as well, like I said, sailing, so it's not just about going out and sailing. Make sure there's targets on there popping up, so everyone's sitting there in their harbour waiting, and then all of a sudden you get these 20 quest come up, take out three 3-star, I don't know, giant crabs, just the first name that comes to my mind, or sea serpents, whatever, and then you do all have to work together. It's, right, I've got so and so, you go and get so and so. They'd have to make it so it can't be on the same tile. Whatever, but it'd be interesting, I think. Not too sure if they can add another type of event other than that. With the attacking side of things, we had the old type plunder time event, which has actually got me started doing the YouTubing. There's Pirate Hall 6 completing it, which, in my opinion, I don't think anyone else did. I've spent a lot of hours playing the game then. As a Pirate Hall 6, just dropping my troops, farming loot. You didn't have to 1-star a base or 2-star, 3-star. It's just all about getting loot. I think it was probably the only Pirate Hall 6 in the game that ever accomplished that. So yeah, big yourself up, Sid. Now, where do we go going forwards? I really want to start. I have to start sailing. 1, to get EP, but 2, I really need to start concentrating on getting some silo materials. Maybe start getting some streaks going to get silo materials. So I think we're going to have a point where we say we need to stop PR pushing now. We need to stop seeing our name in the top 200. We need to start focusing on improving our legendary pirates, and our pirates have still got a way to go with most of them. So if we can concentrate on those, and that will improve us on the attack side. When I say us, because you're on this venture with me, right? You're seeing all the attacks, pretty much 90% of the attacks that I do these days, you see all on live on YouTube. I'm not doing any attacks behind the scenes, pretty much. I think it's only fair that we make this journey together, and you have a big input say into what we do next. This is why I'm doing this video. It gives people a chance to watch it, and then later on in the live stream, I'm hoping to get some feedback or even comments before the live stream on this video to see what people think. Do we try and push? I'm not failing this, but do we try and push for 1,000 PR? Do we just cut our ties and say, look, we made top 200? We even made top 150 in the world. Do we now, let's go down, let's farm properly, let's come back stronger, so to speak. So when we do say, look, we've got a target now. We've got 5 LPs maxed. All our troops are maxed that we want to use in the attack. So the Sky Raiders, the Bombers, the Juggernauts, the Witch Doctors, the Priestess, whatever. Brutes, you name it. They're all maxed. I've got, I don't know, Cornelius maxed, I've got Sadie maxed, I've got Tinto maxed, Black Bart's already maxed, Greenbeard's maxed. We can get a lot of them maxed and then go, we've got a target now. Previous target is 901, we're going to go for 1,000 now. And with the better troops, the better LPs, I think would stand a lot better chance of getting to 1,000 PR. But I will leave that in your hands. I think I've pretty much exhausted a lot of things. Oh, I can quickly flip on and say that I'm watching for the second time now, or third time, I can't remember. I think it's second. The Next Generation Star Trek. I've watched all the Star Treks. I'm watching the new one, Discovery. Watch apart from the silly ones, the animation ones, I ain't watched them. But the original, watch them all. I'm really big on Star Trek at the minute. Not a super nerd, but that's what I'm watching for TV-wise. And I watch other YouTubers too. So who do I watch? I watch mostly different YouTubers. I like all the thumbnails. I've had to learn that somehow. So I watch other people's YouTube videos. I watch multiple people. They all got different tips. None of them seem to all know what the other one knows. So it's good to watch various people, like gaming as well. So if you're watching other YouTubers, if there was any, I think Seb's sort of given up. I'm not too sure. Not seen him release any videos. I've not really seen anyone new posting videos, which I'd welcome that too. Then they might offer something different that I don't. Again, I want to try and get some chest videos going as well, where it's just chest openings, because I know people used to love them videos. That's what we're trying to do with this event. Okay, going back. What was I talking about? It's gone. It's gone. I think that's where we got to end the video, because my mind has gone and turned a blank. We've talked quite a bit. We've almost hit a half-hour video talking about me. And I don't like me talk. So I hope you found it all insightful about my life, my YouTube. Let's get a little bit into YouTube. So, okay. Probably hit 35 minutes here. I've talked about people I watch here. So I watch different various people. I'm watching one at the minute on here and there. To do League of Legends called The Strategy Professor. I can't be bothered putting it. I'm sorry if you're watching this, you're probably not. But I can't be bothered putting that in the description below. He's the support role in... That's who he mainly plays in League of Legends. So I watch him to get some tips from him. I watch various YouTubers for creating thumbnails. Again, I learned various things from them. I've watched YouTubers to set up OBS, which is the program I use to live stream on, and they're all different settings, and again they all got different tips, and I've had to sort of mould them all together, and I've learnt quite a bit. Now going back to what got me started on YouTube, again, it was Dragon Empire officially. I deleted all my videos, unfortunately, but I started there years ago. How many years ago? We're talking, oh dear, I'd say 8 years ago, maybe, YouTube. Starting on just attacking bases because I was top 5 in the world. But at the time I didn't know that. I was just throwing up bases. No one else was really doing any videos. I was enjoying doing it and people saying how great the attacks were and everything. And then it was that event where I got the Pirate Wall 6. I'd done another game called Army of Heroes. Me and the developers didn't quite see eye to eye. They even offered me, not a job as such, but more like a moderator's role and like a Q&A and all that. Yeah, at first of all I was fully supporting them, but they weren't really doing their jobs properly, so I couldn't support a company that was not helping their community out. And people might say the same about Madoki, but they do listen. I do occasionally speak to Madoki. They don't, if you're trying to get anything, they do not feed me information. They just get, well, you have to be patient, and there are things happening. We've got a calendar and a list, etc. That we're plotting throughout the year, and that's sort of the only thing they throw at me. It's not like, oh, the new LP's coming out next week, Sib, but shh, don't tell anyone. It's nothing like. Imagine if that happened. I'd look like such a liar. Don't do that to me, though, Medogi. Don't do it. Don't do that to me. Yeah, they don't say anything like that. And most of the time, I am the one that has to go and ask them. But I do like when I speak to them. They don't seem like I'm a menial thing, something just to dismiss. They do reply, and they reply pretty quickly. They've got their flaws like any people, any company, but I have respect for them, and that's why I have stuck around for so long. Now I've gone completely off course. Oh yeah, YouTubing. I've done the Army of Hero thing, and then let's talk about Plunder Pirates. So I've said it briefly, I'll say it again. I posted up how I got the 45k tokens on the Plunder Time event, which is an old Plunder Time event, not the one that we know now. So if you've been around longer than me, or about the same time, you know what Plunder Time event I was talking about, the old one. I thought, well, let's post it up there, because other people got to be struggling. I tried to look and get feedback, and no one had that information. I saw no one really doing YouTube videos, so I thought, this is my niche, this is the gap in the market. Not a massive player base or nothing, but this is my time to shine. So if I can give people useful information, and I was getting asked a lot of questions because I was Pirate Wolf 6, roughly. Yeah, at Pirate Wolf 7, and I had members as Pirate Wolf 3s and 2s and 1s, 4s, 5s, asked me information, and I thought, well, if these are asking me these questions, if these people are asking me these questions, then I'm sure other people are thinking the same. Well, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I thought, I've got to inject this information to YouTube. So I started, whenever I got asked a series of questions, I bunched them all up like papers to a journalist, flapped them all together, and started going through them on YouTube. And I was enjoying doing it and getting the feedback and getting the views and people liking the videos. And that really springboarded me to go forwards and carry on and try the live streaming where we're at now. I wouldn't say I've got loads and loads and loads of the community, but I've got a nice base that's growing, ever growing. And the live streams, I guess before, maybe 2-3 people. Now we're hitting 6s constant online, 7s, 8s, which is great to see. And I hope we get to the point where we hit 30 people constantly, but we'll get there eventually. And I think that's about it. That's all I have to say. Some of the ideas I have as a player, I've gone over farming. And one other thing I will mention, for a PR point of perspective, and I have mentioned it within the last 2-3 live streams, there needs to be a tweak to the amount of PR lost and gained up in the higher brackets. So even the 700s, 800s, 900s, I got attacked earlier on. I got 2-starred and lost 10 PR. For me to try and get that 10 PR back is hard work. Real hard work, and it's even harder the higher you go. Anyway, I hope it's been insightful. I hope everyone's enjoyed this. Thanks for watching all. Have a pleasant day and evening. Bye for now.